Welcome back to Firehouse Novi. And before we get into our topic for this episode, I just want to mention we're at the newly remodeled fire station number 2 on 13 Mile. And behind us we've got the newest engine in the fire department, engine 2, that's also located on 13 Mile. You may notice that we've let the former color, the lime green, kind of ripen up and like an apple does, and now the new color for the engines is red, and as you see more and more red ones around here, we'll eventually have the whole fleet over that way. But in the meantime, Fire Marshal, tell us, we talked a little bit about what not to burn and how not to do it, but tell us how we can burn and what we can use.
Certainly. Well, like you said, we talked about what not to burn, and that is going to be your yard waste, your twigs, your leaves, your grass clippings, things like that for disposal purposes. But what can you burn? Well, the ordinance, the way the ordinance reads, it says you can use season-dried firewood, and I brought a sampling here of some season-dried firewood, and this is just something you actually would burn in your fireplace, in your wood-burning fireplace in your home, usually in the wintertime. It's the same type of product, or campfire wood as well. All right, and so this is the legal thing that you can be burning, season-dried firewood. When this is burning, there's not a whole lot of smoke that comes with it, not like wet grass or leaves. It burns a lot cleaner, and this is going to be the product that if you are going to have an outdoor fireplace and it's going to be a legal open burning, this is the product you're going to be burning out there.
And when it's seasoned and when it's dry like that, it doesn't give off any smoke.
Doesn't give off whole lot of smoke, and that's where we get our complaints from, and when there's too much smoke coming from the fire.
Okay.
Okay?
So the more efficient the burn, the less smoke. That's why when we pull up on a fire, if we see a big column of smoke, it's a very inefficient burn that's going on there. Things are catching on fire that aren't supposed to burn or that are maybe wet or dirty. That's why we get that huge amounts of black and gray smoke. But a very, very efficient burn like a Bic lighter burns very clean. There's no smoke given off by it, and burns very without anything offensive. That's what this seasoned wood would also do, burn very clean.
Very similar to that, right. Now, the next thing to talk about is where can we burn it? What can we burn in? And we want to be done in a safe manner. When you do have a legal outdoor fire, you have to keep it at least 50 feet away from any type of structure on your property and from your neighbor's property as well. So you want to be a good safe distance away. And the reason for that is to cut down on the nuisance, but also if the fire were to fall out of the fire pit, you're going to be a safe distance away, so you're not going to be catching things on fire. And certainly you don't want to be catching your house on fire either. Okay, so the first thing is that if you're going to have an outdoor fire, you want to follow the ordinance. You want to be a good safe distance away from any type of structures.
Okay.
Now the next thing you want to do is consider where are you going to have the fire. What can you put the fire in? What I have here is this is an outdoor fireplace. It's a metal container, and it's designed to put the logs in it and have the fire right inside here. And this would be a small recreational fire. First of all, I want to give the props out to the Home Depot here in Novi. They lent this to the Novi Fire Department for this taping. And products like this are commercially available. They range from $50 to $200, commercially available at your hardware stores or your home improvement stores. But something like this would be legal to have it in, safe distance, using season-dried firewood right inside here, and it's contained, so it's not going to fall out and not going to spread.
And kids could even use this for marshmallows, right?
They could. You want to make sure that the parents are around so the kids don't get burned, because it is metal. It will get hot, but yeah, you can cook hot dogs over this or marshmallows and make yourself some s'mores, and that would be called a recreational fire. And that's allowed to do. When you do have a recreational fire, you want to make sure that you have some sort of means of extinguishing the fire. Where if it did get out of hand, you want to have a garden hose or a fire extinguisher, or even a rake or shovel to throw some dirt on the fire if it got out of hand. Now, other than the metal fire pit like this, you could also install a brick, a landscape block fire pit in your backyard. Again, keep it at that safe distance away from the house, the 50 feet away from any structures. You could go ahead and build one, and we're going to put one up on show a picture of one we've taken. and perfectly safe as well. As far as you've got brick that's containing the fire. There's one I'm showing you. It's got a brick patio around the fire pit as well,
Okay.
and a nice place to have an outdoor recreational fire.
Now, how big could that be?
You don't want to get too big. The ordinance says that you can't go bigger than 3 feet.
Okay, 3 foot square? Or
3 feet diameter, and it's about the size of this metal pit right here.
All right.
Okay, so that's the limit that you can have. The whole idea behind the ordinance is it allows you to have a small recreational fire, but to keep it small, don't get it out of hand. There's no reason for it to get out of hand and get real big.
So this one that Home Depot supplied has a grill on top.
It's got the
but if
cage.
we had one in our backyard
cage.
and we built a brick fire pit, we wouldn't have a grill on top.
No,
That would still be okay?
Yeah, that'd still be fine. It's still legal that way.
Okay.
The whole idea is you want to keep the fire contained.
Okay.
So the logs don't roll off and catch something else on fire.
All right.
Okay. So those are going to be our legal outdoor fireplaces and open burning
Okay.
that's allowed by ordinance.
All right.
Okay.
That sounds good, and I really hope that clears it up for some people. I know, because ordinances aren't always the easiest and most understandable thing to read when you just want to do a simple fire and let maybe youngsters do marshmallows in the backyard. Well, that's good to know, because with Memorial Day weekend coming up, maybe and the whole summer ahead of us, people can take and implement some of this information and use it in their own backyards and get a little bit of enjoyment out of something that a lot of people think is completely illegal. It's not. There are legal ways to do it. And if there's any other questions, you can go on our website, or you can call Mike Evans, the fire marshal at the fire department. And what's your number, Mike?
248-349-2293. We'll get you to the Fire Prevention Bureau of the fire department.
Very good. So if you have any questions, please call the fire marshal, and you can get them answered and be able to enjoy our Michigan summers like we all like to do. We'll be back in a few minutes.